What's going on, everybody? We got a lot to discuss today, and I'm just going to talk about the past 3 episodes of Portals to Hell, and I'm going to just briefly touch on the major things. So let's get right into it. And first up, I'm going to talk about the Emerald Hill Hell House. Supposedly, it was 5 suicides that happened there, and furthermore, rumors of witchcraft on the property was occurring, along with a witch who single-handedly put a curse on the house and the property. And the thing about the Emerald Hill Hell House, it's an actual haunted house right now. That's why Jack and Katrina are very concerned, because it's already been rumors of witchcraft and the house being cursed. But along with the haunted attraction, all that bottled up into one is ready to explode. So it could create a portal. And fear is fuel for demons, and when it's all full, you can expect the worst. And the homeowners of the property have seen apparitions, doors being slammed open and closed. They have also been pushed and shoved, so it's a lot going on at this property. But during the tours, it's a lot of murder-suicide situations that they told us about. And Jack and Katrina found out that they have a grave outside the property. And Katrina and Jack proceeded to do a headstone rubbing to try to find out who names were on the tombstones. And I thought that was a cool little thing that they did. And while they did more research, they did find out that the witch was in fact connected to the house and property. And it's 2 specific ghosts that hunt this place. One being a figure that wears a top hat, and the other being a little girl. So let's dive into the investigation part, and there's a lot of controversy that went on about what Jack did, and I will talk about that. So let's dive in and talk about that right now. So while the crew was doing the EVP session or spirit box session, I can't remember which one, but anyway, Jack was posted up on the wall with his foot propped up, and he proceeded to move his foot, and everyone heard this thud, and they thought it was a ghost or something hidden against the wall. And right then and there, Jack could have said, "Hey, that was my foot. We can debunk that." But everyone proceeded on with the investigation. And I can understand why people will be pissed off at that, because it's a lot of credibility that goes into this paranormal show and the whole community. And when we see stuff like that, a lot of people question, is it real or is it fake? So next time, Jack, just alert everyone and be more careful next time. But moving on, Katrina did find a shadowy figure, but they just glanced over it like it wasn't nothing. I thought that was probably the best evidence they had on the show thus far, and they just blew it off. I don't know what the deal was with that, but I found that interesting. Overall, I thought this was personally one of my favorite Portals to Hell episodes. And, it's not saying a lot because I don't really like the show like I thought I would. But, the only thing I continue to have a problem with is the lack of structure and the producers taking up all the camera time and just trying to take the shine. And I feel like Jack Osbourne is too scared to even investigate. I feel like he can't reach his potential because he's too scared. And I feel like he can be a great investigator, but like I said, it's another level he can tap into, but he's just holding back, and I don't know why that is. So that's what I thought about that episode. Now moving on to the next episode, the Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia, and that's a very dark and fascinating history. Over 2,400 patients at this asylum. You can imagine what went on there and what happened. And it stayed open until 1994, and this building is very intimidating. And the owner of this place gave Jack and Katrina some insight on what used to happen at this place. And the operations that were done on humans were just mind-boggling. They said they used to experiment daily, and with it being an asylum, they used to take the frontal lobe out the brain and leave the rest, because the frontal lobe was the personality and the emotion. So they figured if they take the frontal lobe out, that the patients will be okay. Just imagine going through that and just being an experiment. But I thought it was a great investigation in this episode. They used a trigger object and they got a lot of evidence, which I think they need to do more of that. And I must admit, the psychic medium that they brought in, she did a great job. And she's probably my favorite during the whole season of Portals to Hell, because I think she's the most accurate and she's believable. That's just my opinion. Leave a like down below if you like her as well. So the investigation part started off a little rocky. The equipment started to malfunction with everybody, and I thought that was a good sign, because when your equipment malfunction, that means it's a lot of energy going around and something is absorbing that. So you can possibly get your best evidence when that happened, but it won't be captured. Overall, it wasn't that much evidence to talk about in this episode. So now let's move on to the La Laura Mansion episode in New Orleans. Apparently it's never been investigated by a ghost show, and a lot of tragedies have happened here. And most people call this mansion the House of Horror, a torture chamber. And Daphne LaLaurie, I think that's her name, and she was a slave owner, and when her husband died, she just lost it and went crazy. She had over 50 slaves, and 20 slaves disappeared without a trace. So you can just imagine what was going on, how many was tortured, and we actually got to see the torture chamber that they showed us, and it was just unbelievable. Get this, not too long ago, when the carpenters were renovating the whole house, they found human remains and body parts. You can just imagine how freaked out they were, like what went on at this place. But, you know, some experiences that happen here, witnesses say that they hear little noises here and there. They see apparitions, screams, and it's specifically a little black girl that roams around the property. And I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to the investigation part, but first I want to talk about when Jack's daughter FaceTimed him, and Jack was like, I'm a little nervous because I don't want to bring anything home to my family or friends. But newsflash, that's always going to be a risk. You know what can happen, and you know demons can strike at any time they want. It could be years from now, or it can be days or hours. You just never know. So Jack, you knew what you signed up for, and you always got to take an account of what your family will want you to do. So on to the investigation. Katrina asked the spirits, how many people are in there? And the ghost replied, 9. Yet again, why is there 9 people in this small kitchen conducting the investigation? I know I say it on every single episode review, but I'm going to say it again. It's too many people involved with this investigation. Too many producers that want to be in front of the camera. And too many cameramen. I mean, just get back to the basics. So I guess they did go back to the basics when they pulled out the Ouija board. And I thought this should have been done in the previous parts of the episode, not the actual investigation. But hey, I can't control what they do. Like I said, it's no structure with portals to hell. They just go as they go. Overall, I don't really think they found enough evidence for me to dive into. But like I said, I did like the backstory of it because I never knew about this place, and it was very interesting. A lot of tortured souls, which is unfortunate. But yeah, guys, let me know down below about what you thought about all these 3 episodes. I'm looking forward to reading your comments, and you know, I just want to say thank you for all your support, and it's greatly appreciated. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out all my latest news and updates regarding the paranormal world, horror movies, anything of that nature. But until next time, hope everyone have a great day, and peace. Be safe.